Lately I've been numb to my feelings. Got 100 in this job. I'll be climbing through your building. I can pull up on the aisle.
What's the deal, y'all? Thank you so much for tuning in to our second episode of No Feelings. My name is Brazil Smith, and we are guaranteed to get better and better each time you guys tune in for your pleasure and enjoyment. To my left, I have here music artist, hell of a man, great person, my boy Face. How you doing, brother?
Good, man.
Another day, another dollar. You already know the deal.
Thank you for having me, bro.
I got you. Why don't you go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself, bro?
All right, my name is Face Value. I'm a West Coast, artist. I make music, different genres of music. I'm just an all-around, just positive person trying to help the world right now.
I fuck with it. So when you say you make different types of music, what genres would you kind of label yourself under?
All right, I'm an artist first and foremost, so I don't try to like put myself in one category, but I'm a rap artist. I'm a lyricist, singer, songwriter, and I do EDM music, which is like house music,
Okay.
up tempo music for the
Okay.
clubs.
You love tunes, you love beats, you just love music in general. Okay.
Yeah.
So what got you started? What got you into music, would you say?
That's a good question. What started me out, I always had a passion for music. I always loved it. I came up when Tupac and Biggie was doing their thing, and I was around for all the groups back in the '90s. So that inspired me. But to actually say what inspired me was my father. He obviously seen I had a talent with music, and I was a singer when I was younger, so he made me practice and hone my craft.
Yeah.
More than a kid would if they was doing it on their own. So he sort of took a liking towards it, and he was interested in my talent. So I took it and just went from singing to being a rap artist, but I always had music in mind. It's always been the best thing I was good at.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you can't go wrong with making music. That's real art right there.
Definitely can't.
Do your thing. Why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about your background, your childhood, where you grew up and stuff like that?
Okay. I was born in Los Angeles. I was born out here, in the '90s. Parents moved to Pennsylvania, where my dad was from, when I was younger, about like 5, 6 years old. So I was raised in a small town called Furl, and there's a city next to it called Sharon. So think Furl and Sharon, Pennsylvania.
What's it like in Pennsylvania? The vibe's a little bit different, I know.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's different. It's very different. It's like it's a splash of everything. Out there, it's so small to where everybody knows everybody. You know what I mean? Like everybody, your mama, daddy. I know everybody because we if you've been around. So it's a very small area where it's like, all right, it's fast paced, but it's a slow type of city.
I feel you.
So I was in the streets very young, and I was out there doing things that I don't feel like I should be proud of.
That's okay.
But it led me to be the person that I am right now because I always had these dreams. I was always back and forth from Los Angeles to Pennsylvania.
When was that?
Throughout my youth, I want to say like teen years, 12, 13, 14. I used to come out here a lot to my family. And I always wanted to go to school out here. I never got a chance to go to school. I went to Federal High School. I graduated from Sharon High School. But I always wanted to go to school out here because, this was just, to me, this was the coolest place. It's always in my dreams where I wanted to be at. It's always where even as a little boy, I felt like this was where I was going to, like, achieve my dreams. And anytime I had dreams, I would actually be out here. So I knew it was just written in my life for me to be out here and doing what I'm doing. And a lot of the stuff that I see now and a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, I seen it when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I seen this shit, you know. So for me to be living the thing, like actually living my dreams, it's something that sort of feels.
Would you say I'm sorry. Would you say that you matured at a relatively younger age than most kids?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a young man, you know, with an old soul. Always been. I just, I don't know. Some things can't be explained. But
Understand.
I was always more advanced. Like even my older brother was like my little brother. You know what I mean? I was like the oldest. I'm the middle child, but I was like the oldest. You know what I mean? I was the only one that was really in the streets. You know, at a young age, doing things like, you know, I was selling drugs and having older people looking to me like,
what's the deal?
You know, and that's a lot of that stuff is what I speak about in my music. I talk a lot of the things that I talk about, like it's a song called "Children of the Corner," where you know,
that's smooth.
You know, it's basically like me telling a story, like you know, I said we the children of the corner, like you know, that went from asking you for change to get a soda to now using money to buy drugs and sell it to the, you know what I mean, to the community. And you know, I speak towards it. It's a very deep song because I put a lot of lyrical content in it, but it speaks a lot about where I'm from. You know, I used to sell drugs in the projects called Masabi. You know, I speak a lot about Masabi. If you listen to my music, you're gonna hear it and be like, what is he talking about? You know, but it was a project area where you know, it was a very tough, rough little project. Like, you know, I've seen a lot of things happen to people there. And, you know, if you not tough, you not gonna make it there. Like I done told people like don't come here without me. And they done came there without me and got robbed and you know, so but I pride myself on you know, and then I say it a lot in my music, nobody ever doing nothing to me. You know what I mean? I never had nothing traumatic happen to me on Wasabi, you know, in the projects where I used to, you know, do my business and live the way like that I was living a fast life, you know, but it was always for me to come back out here and pursue this music because out there is such a small area that nobody can really break an artist out there. We haven't had one artist broken out there into the industry at all because it's like, all right, nobody has been able to put the city on their back. So for me to be a Los Angeles artist and take the East Coast into, you know what I mean? Because I was raised in the East Coast, which made me a different person because I'm not a gang member. I wasn't raised out here like thoroughly enough, like, you know what I mean? I know these streets like the back of my hands, but I wasn't raised enough, like going to school, dealing with, so you're not going to hear the gang banging and, you know what I mean? But you'll hear me talk about it because I'm around it. I have family members, I have friends, I have people, you know what I mean, that I love that are in that lifestyle. So, you know, I feel like I give the West Coast a breath of fresh air because I'm not just talking about gang banging and, you know, the ops and stuff like, you know, and if I am talking about something, it's a story that you can take something from because I've dealt with a lot of things, especially out there, you know what I mean? Just growing up, trying to be a better person or trying to figure out my purpose in life. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to figure out their purpose. So I used to walk around my city just daydreaming, man, seeing myself bossed up, seeing myself fly. You know what I mean? Back then I couldn't do that. You know, I couldn't dress like this. I couldn't, you know what I mean? I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the way. You know, now I have a way and I have resources, you know what I mean? And I put myself in that position. And my music is what gives people the ideas of how I did this. I had to be confident. I talk about confidence a lot in my music because you gotta believe in yourself to go thousands of miles alone, you know what I mean, knowing that you don't know what's gonna happen next, but you believe in yourself so much that you ready for whatever's gonna come. You know what I mean? You don't know you always as a human gonna think of the worst, but you really wanna be the type of person that's just like, you know what? I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Why not? Why not have fear blocking your destiny?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's a big missing piece of the puzzle right there, brother.
yeah.
People they want to tuck it away. It doesn't matter if you were involved in it. You could have still seen the shit,
Yeah.
observed the shit,
Yeah.
and you can still talk about it because a grind is grind. And that's what people seem to take away from people who are from, you know, outside of the West Coast or are outside of the Bronx and
Yeah.
located in the middle, you know, of the United States. But yeah, bro, that's a big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you actually came to Los Angeles? You decided to settle in Los
When I decided to
Angeles.
settle in Los Angeles, I was in my 20s. I was about 22.
Mm.
You know, very young. Didn't want to, I didn't want to get immediately into the industry. I wanted to learn the city. I wanted to be around. I dug when I got out here. I just dug into the streets, man. I didn't know how that was gonna turn out for me, but being around the neighborhoods like Slauson and Crenshaw, that's one of the parts where I started off at. Being around Nipsey and them, that's a lot of my motivation too, because I actually seen what he spoke to. I seen it with my own eyes. You know what I mean? I was when I started, I was doing detailing cars. Right next to his weed shop right there. So when he would come, it was like a dream because it's like one of my favorite rappers right in front of my own eyes. But to see him do it with such compassion and sort of like this authority, like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nipsey Hussle, I don't suspect he acts any different than he does when he's on camera or behind the song. Because I mean, what would you say Nipsey is like? Have you ever like talked to him?
Man, yes. Oh man, I could definitely say that bro is man, rest in peace. Let me say that first. But he is what he packaged. When I first seen him, when I first seen him with my own, he was like 10 feet tall.
That's another thing I didn't expect. Like shit.
Outside of that part, he had that king presence. You know what I mean? He had that. Like, you could tell he was walking with God. You could tell his mission was with God, and it's crazy to see the way it played out because I was very, very close to that, and it was just like this, feeling that I got after finding out he died. It was this feeling that I got that was just like, all right, man, you here for a short period of time. Everybody gotta die. You know what I mean? So you gotta complete your mission. We all here on a mission. You know what I mean? Whether you know that mission or not, you still on a mission.
I feel you.
So I'm just happy that God put me in places to be around people who's actually successful at their passions. And I've been around some big people, bro.
Like
and to
who?
me, Nipsey was one of the biggest. I met DMX before he died. Man, he actually got to hear my name,
Really?
value. Yeah, speaking back towards Nipsey, I was around him. You know what I mean? So when I was telling him I was an artist, he was thinking more or less like, all right, yeah. I was like, my name is YB. That's what I call myself. That's what my friends call me, YB. But he was like, you can't really go with that because he around YG and stuff. So I tried to tweak it and call myself YB Angelino. Like, Angelino is like a Los Angeles native, something like that. But it wasn't clicking when bro was hearing it. But I feel like if Nipsey would have heard me tell him face value, he'd be like, bro, that shit dope.
That's smooth, yeah.
Like that shit dope. So being able to tell it to like DMX was like that's a deep name. You know what I mean? And it let me know like, all right, well, I'm on the right path for what I need to be doing. I met a lot of people. To Cheney from Martin, Gene,
Oh, Tachina Arnold? Pam?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Pam,
Tisha Kent. Oh, no, wait. I forget
yeah.
which one is which,
Nah,
but
Pam.
damn, that's a
Nah,
fine sister,
Tashina
right? Yeah.
Arnold. Yeah, you're right. I met now. I've spoken to her on a real basis. She respect what I'm doing. People see what you own, man. When you really just on this path to where you ain't letting nothing stop you, people see what you're doing. That's what we don't realize until it shows itself. Like, all right, yeah, they see what I'm doing. People see what you're doing, man. Even when you don't think they are, they still watching. You know, I met Ron Artest, great guy.
What's Ron Artest like?
Man, he was smooth. He was smooth. At that time I had like a big boy Lexus. So when we walked outside, he was like, "Oh, he blessed all right." Like he was like, "That's why you talking like that." Because I talk to these guys like they might, you know what I mean? Like they the same as me. Because we the same, even though we have different lanes that we going in. Like
we're people.
You know what I mean? We're talented. No, we're talented. God given talent. Like that is walking this earth and is inspiring people to do better. You know what I mean? Like his name is Meta World Peace. You feel me? But now he's smooth. I never want to ever be looked at like no like a groupie or like a fan.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? So I treat these people like they regular people. I just seen little Bibby. You know what I mean? And I know he felt like we was gonna walk up on him, but we ain't walk up on him. You know what I mean? Because I respect that you out with your family and shit.
I remember I saw Kawhi Leonard when I was working at SoFi.
Okay.
He was with his son. I was like, man, I really love to ask bro. Just for a
Like
picture
a
of his son.
dude.
He really, that's why I said I'm gonna just let go, bro. Like, I'm gonna let him go downstairs do his thing, because that man look
I
like.
respect that though, because there's so many people that just walk up on him and then they sort of just got it, or they're gonna turn up the cheek, and then you're gonna have a bad taste in your mouth about them. But at the end of the day, I'm blessed to be around people who's like living in their craft, that's actually like, God given talent. So it lets me know I'm of them people, and coming from the town that I came from, like you just don't know, bro. It's in the middle of nowhere. Like I could have chose to be this normal guy. And everybody has choices in life, and we all have things holding us back. I had things that was holding me back too. Nobody wants to uproot their normal life and go and take a chance that might not work. You know what I mean? I knew what was gonna happen, but I had to put my feet to the ground and actually make it happen. It wasn't, I wasn't gonna be the person that was sitting around saying it for so long, and then they like, why you ain't never do it? No, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go do that. You know what I mean? So I just want people to start being more stern.
10 toes down.
Yeah, do what you say you gonna do. What's holding you back? And once you answer that, fix it. You know what I mean? Make it
outline it, and go get it.
Because it's easier than what people think it is. We living in a life to where things is sort of just, we live in a life to where things is just sort of like, it seems like it's harder to gain because you open your phone, you see a bust down rollie, you know what I mean? But it's in your face, but you looking at your pockets like, I can't even get to that amount right now. So it seems completely impossible. But these is things that you don't know how long it took that person to get to that point. You know what I mean? So we just looking at that quick instant gratification right now, and people is looking at that, and they so distracted with other people's gratification that they not looking at what they supposed to be doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And now you done wasted so much time. You know what I mean?
So let's take a step back into Pennsylvania real quick. You said you were around 22, 23 when you came to LA. Tell me about freshman year, senior year of high school. How would you describe that time in your life and music? How they relate.
That's a good one. Freshman, I was just coming into myself. I was a young man. When I was younger, know what I mean? In grade school, I didn't have confidence. You know, I thought I was the ugliest dude. I never
We
got
all
the
did.
girl that I wanted. You know, I wasn't fresh. Mama didn't have it to do. You know, so around 7th grade, that's when I started getting thirsty for the stuff. You know, and I started turning into that street character because you know I seen that guys in the street was getting money, and it was easier for them to have it because they was the ones having them things. So I used to walk past that dude with these J's on, and be like, man, you know, like,
I'm trying to be
know,
on
like,
that level.
you know, I was the last of the corner boys. You know what I mean? Like the dudes that was on the corner selling drugs. Yeah, me and my friends, we was the last kids out there, man. Right now, you can't stand on the you can't stand on the block now, you know. But back then, you know, we had a lot of hustle in us, and we was making money. You know, I was doing a lot of bad stuff, man, stealing cars and all types of stuff, all types of stuff, man. You know, just trying to find a way to become the best version of myself, but still being lost, you know, at that time. So I just I formulated a plot, man, and I stuck to it, and it's getting me this far. You know, I was coming into the music out there, man. You know, me and my brother, we did the Showtime at the Apollo.
What was that like? Showtime.
Man, it was crazy. it was crazy. My dad got us into it. You know, we sung that Shy and we sung that. You know, and we had the crowd. It was a good performance, but we lost. We came in second to some young boy who he rapped a Bow Wow song. What about because at that time Bow Wow was hot.
Yeah.
Early to like 2000,
how old are you now?
2001. I'm 33.
33. Okay.
So
okay.
you know, but they
That's Bow Wow. You can't go wrong. That's Bow Wow. You can't go wrong.
But it was his performance though. He jumped off the stage and started doing like a little crip walk. Yeah, and he won. You know what I mean? And I honestly wanted to give up on the music after that. I stopped singing. That's when I started getting into smoking and drinking. And mind you, I'm like 11, 12 years old. You know, so being out in the streets, you know, going and making a change and not being musically driven. I was out there, my friends, they was rapping. You know, they used to be they used to be like rapping with each other and stuff when we'd be smoking. And they would rap to this beat. I get high, high. They would rap to that beat. And one day I just, you know, I was listening to him rap. I'm like, that shit's so cold. You know, and you know, I went home and I wrote a rap. My first rap I even remember to this day, you know, and I went back and they put the same beat on, and after all of them went, the end part came, I spit my verse, you know what I mean? And they was just so excited and happy and you know, it made me feel like, all right, I found it. You know, it was that moment for me. I found it. You know, that it's it moment. And my friends, they the type of friends that was like, all right, well, if you ain't good at something, bro, they was gonna let you know that you need to be doing something else. Like, nah, bro, you need to be doing something else because that's not you. So for them to be so excited and keep telling me, oh, bro, keep doing that. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep rapping. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Go write some more stuff. For them to tell me that, it let me know, all right, this is what I need to be doing. And, you know, I got to the point where now everybody knows about it. You know, everybody wants me to spit something when I'm walking up to them. You know what I mean? And I had got tired of people asking me, oh, when's the mixtape coming out? Like, you know, like, because I wasn't close to even making a mixtape at the time. I wasn't in my studio phase. You know, I was just building myself up. But once I started getting into the studio, you know, me and my cousin, we actually put a studio together. It was called the Green Room, you know, in his mama house. That's why I said put the lights green. The green room. You know, we put the stuff together. You know, with the homegirl B, she gave us a lot of equipment and stuff, and we started off with the Dat Piff era. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
And we was making noise in such a small city. You know what I mean? To the point where like guys like Gucci was requesting us, and we were supposed to go see about it. You know, I started coming into myself because I was being comfortable now in the studio. You know, when I was in the studio at that time, at a young age, I had so much imagination, but I was still raw. I was raw talent, you know what I mean? So the early songs, they don't sound too quality good, but they're definitely like same quality music that you hear. You know, I've been saying something. I've been trying to tell people good things, the good news, and how you can, you know, be the best version of yourself.
I like how you got your own little different vibe going. Not many people know how to do that, kind of switch it up and make shit happen like that. So I fuck with it. I fuck with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So you already know there are a lot of kids, especially in high school, at a very vulnerable age, who are looking into music, but some of them might actually see the wrong side of what music means. They might listen to the gang stuff. They might listen to the trap, drug stuff. What would you say the best way to kind of to make it art, not just rap, but art?
To make it art, I mean, it's honestly all of it is art. You know, my take on life is everything is art, no matter what you looking at, what you're doing. Art means God. So when you think about art, you think about your God-given talents and things that you can do that I can't do, and all of it, like I said, it's art. So when you really sit back and look at how it is, it's different forms. And when you see those different forms, you'll see different people relating to different things.
I feel you.
And, you know, we sort of float to the music that we relate to. But the one thing about music is everybody has a favorite song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody has something a song that can get stuck in their head. And, you know, I think that's the beautiful part about music because it connects people in ways that conversations or just being in a public place can't.
I feel you.
You know.
I feel you. You said, different ways for people to connect. How people can, relate to different music.
Yeah,
I'm from Fontana. Well, not Fontana. I'm from Ontario. I moved to Fontana. I definitely wasn't into the music that I listen to today, and I definitely, wasn't really introduced to it until I got to LA. And since there's such a range and variety of different music that goes on out here as opposed to the Inland Empire. What would you say, music and its impact on South Central LA? How would you say it impacts it?
Well, it's very impactful on the city of Los Angeles specifically. That's the turf, that's the home turf. But it has a very big impact. The youth, they float towards it. They actually control the way it's distributed. For a while, like the new boys and them, they had to go through the high school students to even get any type of notice. For people to notice them. So I feel like the youth in the inner cities, they have a big influence from and on the music. Like I said, a lot of people, they float to the music that they sort of relate to. So the younger kids, especially the ones I know, they do float to the gang banging music, which is fine. That's a lifestyle, and the music that's speaking to that lifestyle is specifically for that. So I feel like to judge it, you would have to actually be from that lifestyle.
I feel you. Now you have a song called let me see here, I got it. A song called "Protect My Vibe." When it comes to kids and making sure that they keep that same swag that they were born with, as opposed to switching up in the middle of nowhere. How would you tell me a little bit about that song? Protect My Vibe.
Man, I'm very proud of that song. I can say that first and foremost. It's a great song.
It is.
I was in a place to where people was doing dirt on me and talking bad on my name, but still wanting to be in my life. And friends was doing different things and using me towards their, how they would like to be using me.
Would you say you were taken advantage of?
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. I feel like everybody's taking advantage of it in one way or another. But for that song, I just wanted, it's meditation for me. It's really therapy. So I go in, and when I'm feeling like, definitely when I'm writing, when I write the song, I feel like it's what's on my mind for not even just the day. You know what I mean? It's what's been going on in my life as of recent. So at that time when I wrote that song, it seemed like just about everybody was turning their back on me or just showing their true face.
I fuck with it. That's what you're supposed to do, man. You're supposed to let niggas know, how you feel. That's how you express yourself in art. You know what I'm saying?
I got people that don't even, they like the song, but they don't like it. They get a little
they know damn well.
I tell people in my life, like, man, I'm an artist, so if you're a part of my life, you gonna be a part of the music. Yep. So whatever part you play is the part that you gonna hear.
Whether it's positive or negative, man, I can't help it. Shit.
But it's definitely a great song though, man. I really want the world to hear it and to take from it that your vibe is important enough to protect. You have to protect that. If you don't protect that, you can't even do anything for anybody else, man. Because you're gonna be mad and you're gonna be taking it out in the world, walking out the house angry. So
I know a lot of motherfuckers, they be having, struggling to kind of keep their posture, kind of keep their cool and still without blaming other people. If somebody was writing their music with not saying that's where it stems from, but if there was any kind of anger, hatred towards anybody, is there any level of self-exception or any level of accountability in the roles that those people who did them dirty, the roles that they played in their life? Is there anything that that they could do to kind of keep that level of confidence?
Well, just be honest with yourself and whoever. I think that's the part we sort of like jade ourselves when we don't be honest to people around us, because then you give off a false perception, and if you love them people, you're going to want to be honest with them anyway. So, the best way to go about that is just stay true to yourself, stay true to the people that you care about.
I feel you. Do you think you can give me, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people saw that interview with 21 Savage on Club Shay Shay. Can you give me your thoughts on how you feel about rappers coming from rural areas, places like Ontario, the Inland Empire, or somewhere like London, where he's from, and then just jumping into the rap game like that? What are your thoughts on that?
I would like to say it was a guy named Battle Cat who actually made the beats for like Snoop Dogg, and he was a part of Death Row. I used to detail cars, and I met him, and when I showed him my music, because he's a big producer, make some of the best songs. If you know him, you know him. But he actually told me, like, man, just keep being yourself. You know what I mean? Keep telling your story. Don't try to be like the next person. You know what I mean? Don't try to put on a fake persona, because sooner or later people gonna see it. If it's not genuine and organic, people are always gonna see through it. No matter if it's right now, 5 years down the line, you're gonna slip up and people gonna see the real you. And now, it's like, what's going on with this person? They're not the person that I thought they was, So it's always best for people to already know who you are. Like, oh, this is who he is. And they either love you for it or they don't.
I say it all the time. The truth is always gonna come out, regardless. Shit, it don't matter.